day, good day, good day. Welcome back to class. In this lesson, we are going to talk about tables. This lesson, we are going to talk about tables. Tables. Tables are an integral part of any website or most of the websites earlier on. Maybe it might be one that you are about to visit or something that you see. There are a lot of uses for tables, especially on website or signing other related. It is always important that get to know how to use them very well, very well. How do you even inculcate tables on or into your website that you design? There is aim of this, the objective of that at the end of it, you should be able to put in your website very nice, which will have a lot of use as time moves. So what are some of the topics we're going to cover at table? So under tables, these are some of the cloud. Okay, so we'll be talking about tables as a whole, talking about table borders, talking about padding, talking about spacing, talking about co-span, talking about row span, talking about table styling, talking about table COLGROUP. So there are a lot to cover in this tutorial. It is very important that you follow as as we move on. You follow as we that you grab everything that comes. So this is the objective at the end. This is what we are expecting from you. You are able to design a very nice table like this. Okay, this is a personal class timetable. Those with the help of HTML only, maybe HTML and CSS. So these are some of the things that we'll be taking in this class. So at the end, you should be able to come out with something like this or something even better than this. So we know that now our classes start from Thursday and it ends on Wednesday. Another Thursday is a new week and begin another wonderful. So yeah, as you could see over here, we just made our timetable for two hours. Okay, 2 hours. So you could see 8, 10, 12, 2, 4, 8. So it's actually from 8 to 8 and have a series of activities of the time listed here. Okay, series of activities. So looking at the timetable, you could see that at 8 o'clock a.m. on Thursday, we have what national. But on Friday, we have what learning journal. And on Monday, we have written. Then on Tuesday, we have apply here. Still in the morning at 8 o'clock a.m. Wednesday, which is the last day, we have quiz. It can be self quiz or graded quiz. So that's that. That's really great. Then when you come to 10 o'clock a.m. Uh, on Thursday, yes, on Thursday, you could see we have learning journal. We have written as apply here. So it moves on. Okay. It is the main aim of this video or less that you are able to design something like this or better than this. So without wasting my time, let us start up something. So let's open uh, okay, so that's our VS Code editor, or Studio Code editor. Okay, so we are in. We just have to create a new file. So let's start up something. Just click on it and go. So I'll get from here, email. I'll just press Control and give it any. I'll just call it my table.html. Give it HTML, the same effect. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, so there we go. Now we could see my table.atm over here, HTML nicely over there. So just get my skeleton by typing it and setting it by from. Then here the document I can choose to leave it, but I'm renaming it to timetable. Time, right? So that's timetable. Then we come to the body. Now, when it comes to tables, there are very important elements that should be handy for you. Okay, they should be handy for you in order to progress and progress well. Okay. Okay, so what are these elements? These elements are take it off. This guy then there we go. Uh, important element for for LT. Okay, so that's good. One you will need. Okay, one you will need this guy, the table element, very integral and parent element. Then you need a TR, which represent table row, TD, which represent table 30, which will represent headings. So these are basically the elements that you. There are others though, but as we move on, you get to know them. But to create a table, especially HTML table, these are the elements. So these are four key integral elements. You need a table element, you need a TR element, you need a TD element, and you need a TH element. So these are very, very important, and it is pertinent that you get it no matter what. Okay. Okay, so now let's take it a bit further. Let's now try and create a nice table. Let's see how this actually works in reality. So type table, I get my opening tag and get it some space. Yeah. Okay, so that's fine. So just after the table element, you know that tables are made up of rows and columns. Rows and columns. It is very important that you always get your rows before you get your columns. You get the row, then you divide the row into what? Columns. That's very, very important. So we start with our TR element, which will give us what? Rows. TR row. Okay. So the TR element, what do you think are necessary elements that will that? We need a heading. Each table or each column has its own what heading. So depending on the number of columns that you or the number of column headings that you use the each element accordingly. So now I want to create a very simple table which says name and age. Okay, name and age. That's it. So the first column will have the heading name. Then the next column will have the heading age. Okay, age. That's fine. Okay, so the first row, don't forget, the first row contains the headings for the columns. Okay, headings for the columns. Do I need just one row to make my table a table? No, I need more rows. So I'll just come down because the first row contains only the heading. I'll come down and create another row by calling on the CR element as the table row. Then inside of that, I'll now need table data. Table data will represent anything at all that I want to include. But you have to know that you have to give appropriate data for the headings that you have given in the first row. Okay, so the first one I'll just call on as something that's a name. Okay, empty. Then my next table data I will call on each. I will say 5. Okay, that's fine. So if I will need another row, then I'll have to go down and create more. So let's say this column row. Yeah, good. not. Okay, so that's my second row or my third row. Very specific, it's third row, right? Okay, so let's move there. Okay, so with the third row, I have my I've, you know what? I needed table data. Okay, okay, so, that's that. I will need a table. Then inside of the table, that's where okay, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, then we move on. Have what our table which age for role model here maybe 20. Then and go on the next one. Need another row for another person. Okay, okay. Side of the row and side of the table. Patrick, this Patrick as that. I'll go then that's it. Be for the what age. Then if I need another one, let's say I'll need a row, column row, then that I say Isaac, that's age. That CD will take maybe 8. As then just move on. We need another row for another person. Eh? So we'll call on another R. Then we start of TR. Then we X. Just move. Unless we have a date and age. That's a huge age. Okay. Then the next row is very important. Get events. Very good. I like using him a lot. Then we'll get another data. I might 23. That's my possible guess. Okay. Then we'll have another nice table again. We want more data. And inside of that, we get T. So you could see that just after the first row, we are not having any TH again. We are not having any T again. So this time around, I'm going to call on a good friend of mine, Gosphere. That has also been very great. Then maybe another TD. Then I will say Gosphere is 7. I hope we are on it. Small. Get there. Okay, that's great. So call on another one. We need a lot of data to make our table. That of TR, that's great. That of TD, I'll call on a name. Maybe Fred. Fred is my brother. I like him very much. Another T, Fred is 10. I'll call on another Vicious. So very good, very good. Okay, so just call on Vinicius and get him very. Oh, there is a mistake. I have you recognize it? Okay, so I'll get it that this guy is not that good. So I'll just have to take Vinicius and put Vinicius. Oh, this very space. Okay, so inside of this, I needed T. Then inside of T, column the other was about my brother. Put him inside of TDs. Then, okay, so now we save our work. Oh. There we save our work. Work is stable. We have to view it in browser. Very good. Sorry. So I'll just just I select a good copy damage. Oh, it's serious. So I'll just copy file, copy path, sorry. So the path is paste the path, then it's the, ah, what do you see over here? Oh, is it what is this guy trying to do? Right? We're talking about table and look at this. This is not a table, this is just so that's actually fine. It is a list. Okay. So now we have this guy and it is very good. We have it over here. Okay, that's fine. Now we have created a table, whether you like it or yes. It is a table. Okay. It's a table, whether you like it. Yes. Okay, so that one being said, how do we get some lines around the table to make our table? That's where table borders come in your rescue. Okay, that's where table borders come in rescue. Okay, so let's move on to table borders. See how best we start. Okay, so first of all, there are many ways to use borders in or table or in your website. Okay, it's either you use the inline method of what setting or putting or adding CSS, or by using the what. I hope you remember you call on the style property. From and from there we can call on table. After call on table, inside on the so border will need a size, maybe then it will need a type solid, and it will need that. Then save our work. Go to browser, refresh this. Then let's see if we actually. Oh, hi. Okay. So we are having this. Is this still a table? Maybe yes, maybe no. Okay, so before we get real, we need something very special. We just give it to the table, but we have to give it to our T and T as well. TR also column TR. I hope you remember how to do this. Hey, did you column maybe it's been important as well? And column, so let's save our work, go back to our browser, refresh the table. Okay, gosh. Okay, so this is a table that we have in. This is what you wanted, right? I think there are 5 pixels is item. Maybe it's because of now. Uh, so this is the table that we're having now. We have a table with 2 columns. How many? 1, 3, 4, 5, 10. Right, okay. So now we have a table with the heading name and another heading age. So you could see that name and center aligned by default bolded, okay, but the rest are left aligned by default, not in the bold form, okay. Okay, so that's it. Now there is a way to get these double lines that we are seeing here off. Okay, you can see that we have just one, this guy here, we have this one has own. Okay, so before we move on, we call this, what you see here, the name, the age, Asante 5 you see they are called table cells. Okay, table cells. So table cell constitute what? A table row and a table column. Okay, or where the horizontal and the vertical lines, where 2 horizontal and 2 vertical lines get what? A cell. Okay, so it is very, very important. From our Excel idea, we can apply that. So we want to get rid of that whole line that we are having over there, and we table property, and we say set it to the collapse, okay, to the value collapse. So we'll go back to our browser, refresh it, and it works for us. Okay, so now it's off as you have just said. And we are now actually having what? A table. And also now having a table. Okay, so tables can have different border styles and shapes. Okay, uh, when a border is added to a table, it is automatically added to the cells of the table as well. That's what we saw earlier on. That's what we saw earlier on. Use border property from CSS on table TD or table data or table heading TH to add borders to table. So that's what we just did and gotten. Okay, now there are a lot of ways, a lot of different borders we can have for a single table. A lot of different borders. Border, as I said here, we have what solid. We also have border insets. Open up set. Okay, so let's come back to our browser, refresh it. There are any change. Okay, so you are not actually notifying any changes. You have to take very close look at it to see some changes. I know it. So go back and it. We also have our set rich here. Uh, Notifying different. Okay, okay, okay. We'll get to that. We'll have border. With borders, we have 3 parameters or 3 values for setting border. The first one that is with a number attached to unit, in this case the pixels unit. So we have 5. We call it the border size. Okay, so you use the border size property to do this. Then the range is we call it the border style. So you use border style property to set the the style of the border. Okay, Then black color here, we use border color to that one. Border color. So get there very very. Okay, so now it is very important we start styling our table to make it a bit beautiful. Or what do you say? Yeah, we have to make it beautiful. Okay, so we do that by one certain background color for our tables. Okay? Background color. So you know what the background color proxy does already, or put a color at the background or for whichever cell that you select. Okay. Okay. So let's see if we can try and add a background color over here. Okay, so that's actually possible. Color and X. So we have our background color. We can choose to get a different color for our heading, different background color for our heading by coming down here and following the heading that is CH. Then we just choose, then we see uh, background color. Let's give it save. Let's go back to our work, refresh, and see if there are any. That's it. So this set the heading apart from the rest. Okay. 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 So I hope we are following we are following the lesson. So we have name, we have age, we have accent, we have that, and so on. So we can actually give access to some of the table rows or table columns, and actually style it differently. So I just want to call on maybe where Patrick is, just give it as I give what happens. Which color? Okay, so I just go up here to styles and call on purple. And this is a class. I hope you know how to call on a class in CSS. Okay, start with the full stop with the class that you gave. Okay, so just call on purple here and see background color and see purple. Purple. Let's refresh our brown. Refresh it. Yes, Patrick. Happened. Why are we having? Okay, so the Patrick constitutes table data as well. I will try and oh, it was Isaac. Okay. Oh, why am I? Okay. Then then uh, that's great. We are now having I. different background color. Okay, so we have been able to select part of what of this table and giving it different styling. Okay, different styling. Okay, so we'll call on the to change the column to selector again, then around style. Have a lot. So we have insert, outset, range, solid, onset, group, hidden, initial, double. So let's take group for instance. We get an output kind of actually okay, and guys as well. Are still not having any. I mean, very serious. Also, so we have range as well. Okay, so we just hold on to that. But you have to know that when it comes to tables, you have different ways of setting it. Okay? Then we have border color. Border color is in the color. Okay. Okay, so let's take it. Okay, so with borders, I will spend border top color, something right. Okay, so you see the top of the border, violet. I give it. Okay, now let's come back. So with borders, we have four different parts of a border. Okay, so we have the top. So we have border top. We have border right. We have border bottom and border left. Okay, so I can set different colors for all the sides of the border. This time around, we have set a different color for the border top, and you can see it with what and the violet color. Okay, so that's that. And go back there. They may border top color. Border bottom, border right, that one to be. So you can style your border as way you want to see border right is the color we are having over. Okay, so the range actually came and because the border was black, seeing it. Okay, actually I'll try and change all the colors then able to visualize the changes. I can go down and say border bottom. So this is to how different part of your body. So border bottom color. Okay, so that's fine. I'll choose. Get me more. Yes. aqua. In version better. So that's fine. Our table is getting very beautiful, right? Then we are left with left. Border left. Border left, which color should we give it? So we go down here. See border bottom. Touch left color. And get me colors. That color. Fresh. Then let's refresh. Okay, so have a very table. Okay, so this is the table that I was talking of. Now we'll try and change the border style for our tables. So border style, now we have rich. We're gonna make it print and then we'll the difference. So we have rich, have group, have saved it, and going back to our browser, are we notifying the difference? So this for group. Then we can insert, then outset. Have insert. We also have hidden as well. Click hidden. Happen. Okay, so see that the border is what hidden over here. Then we have set fresh cache. So fresh then. So this is set. Set. Okay. So you could see that the set is the same like which one? Okay. Let's move on. Then we also have out. Have outset. Okay. So this outset. So you can have different border that you really want to. Okay, so that's for the borders. So we've learned how to get a background color for different parts of our table. We've learned how to put borders on our tables. We've learned how to design or actually make colors. Our borders have different colors and different styles as well. Okay. Okay, so that's that. Then we'll move on to table sizes. You can set the size for a column, a row, or the entire table. You use the style attribute with the width or height properties to specify the size of table or table. For example, you call on table the so you can just style your table, set different sizes for your table. Okay, so where is our table property? Column table and style. So this is the style attribute. Column width, column the width, and we use 100%. You know what percentages mean? Percentages when it comes to website design development means that the table element should have the same size as its parent element. You see, the parent element of the table element in this case is the body element. So the size of the body element will be the same as the size of the what table element. For this one, if I refresh the browser, let's see what happens. Actually, there is. Okay, so this what we are having. Okay, you see that it has almost occupied the size of the body that have over here. I hope you are getting it. Okay, so you can choose to bring it down or bring it higher and say maybe have 120% of the table or the element, your parent element. Okay, let's refresh it. Okay, so you can see it is now a bit bigger and need to go side by side in order to view it. Okay, so that's that. So this is one of the things that you can start up with. Style your table accordingly. Accordingly. I mean, very, very nice, right? Actually, right on the one, but yeah, bye. Don't worry, we'll just get finished. Then you can also set the height for this. You can also set the height. It is height inside this guy. Let's height as well 20, 120. Save our work. Go back to our fresh. Gonna okay, so there is some difference percent. So our table is becoming very, very nice. And also, I want to change the size of 100%. Okay, back. So we have our table how to move side by side. Okay, so name, age, and okay. So these are very good friends of mine, Patrick, Alex, Sphere, Fred, Vinicius. They are all very great people. I wanted to include them here to let them know how much they are to me. Now we move on to table headers. Okay, these are headers, then also the name, the age. What are the differences with the headers and with the rest of the data that we have? With the exception of, let's say, the background color, they have some differences. You could see this in what bold color, center aligned, as well as this, but the rest are not center aligned. They are not in bold color. Okay, they're not in bold. And also, that's right. Okay, so let's take some uh, features about the table element. The header, the table headers, or the HTML table headers. Okay. Tables can have headers for each column or row, or for many columns or many rows. Okay, so this is the key idea that we use in designing our timetable. Okay, our timetable. So, for instance, name, age, time on the first column, and that's the idea for designing of a personal timetable. Okay. Then with horizontal table headers, the first row will of only uh, only the th, okay, only th data, and subsequent rows will be dd. Okay. Okay, so what we are trying to say is that with horizontal table headers, this is an example of a horizontal table header. So you see that the headers are just horizontal, they are just above, and they are mostly occupied or contained in the first row of your table. First row of your table. It is very, very important that you take key note of this. So this is an example of what a horizontal table header or a horizontal table horizontal table header, exactly. Okay, so with vertical tables, the first data in the row will be th. The first data in the row will be th, and then subsequent ones will be td. So it is very, very important. These are key things that you need to grab. These are very key. With vertical one, the first row will constitute only th element. Subsequent rows will constitute td as we have here. With vertical uh, tables, the first data in the row will have to be th, and the rest will have to be td accordingly. Okay, so we'll take it on from there. Then we'll move on to we can use test align and test align to uh, align our tests inside of our tables. Okay, so we can choose to make Asante role model the 25, the ages as well, to be in center so that it aligns with the headings. But by default, this is how and it's done. Okay, so you can leave you can have you can have a header that spans over two or more columns. Okay, so we'll get to know that one. So let's come back to our timetable. You see, this Thursday alone, taking the column here for the time and also for this column as well. Okay. So that's what we call the spanning. The spanning. So in this case, we have spanned a column. A column. So a column has taken two columns. In this case, the Thursday column has taken two columns. So we call this one. There's a column span. In case discussion assignment is to span down or come down, say that it has what? A span in row. It has span in row. 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 Okay, row. So that's that. So we have row span and we have column span. We will get to that later on in this same lesson. Don't worry, okay? This same lesson, get to that later on. Then you could see that just at the top here, I have personal class timetable console. We call the heading of a table, the general heading that gives the information of what the table is about. We call it the caption, okay? You might think that I use heading and that's the H1, H2. No, no. We have a special element for that, okay? We have a special element call it the caption element. We use the caption element for this. So personal class timetable, those consult was as a result of the word caption element. Okay, so that's fine. Then what else? Okay, so we learn how to do that one. Then we take it up from there. Take it up from there. Take it up from there. Okay, so let's start up something. We'll learn how to first of all make different table headers. Okay, so our file then so our first file is nice. Yeah, okay, so let me select the language. Language is actually our table of ATM. But it so my table. So I'll just call on the structure and actually I said timetable and didn't use timetable. So let's call on table headers. What I need. Okay. So now we move on to have another table. Call on our table. Beside of that, we need table row, right? For the header. So with the horizontal tables that we had earlier on, the first row constitutes the first row constitute or first row constitute the first row constitute only T. But with this one, we are going to have a vertical table. So the first thing that we have here, let's take which kind of table can we buy? Okay, so we'll take let's say the time for 5 o'clock. Then after that, can have a we have English or have time. Okay, so that's 5. I have in I have it that time. I need on another T at I will have just trying to create a table of table. Okay, so let's move on. Let's see that of this is there. They have social. Okay, and down so that I will see. Okay, yeah, that's great. Let's see it. So we are actually creating horizontal tables. It's are we having? That's it. Having we having which subject again? Oh my, that's right. Spelling of mathematics, right? Okay, so that's it. So what differences are you noting here? You could see that in every row we have one word th element. We have one t. You could see we have th here. We have t. In the next row we have th, and after that we have t. This one we have th. After that we have t, and after that we have t. Make our table a table. I'll just call on at okay. Uh, table styling. So this is the general border. Okay, you remember? Okay, so first of all, we need to set the size. So you should know there are no comma in between the values that you keep the border solid. Saving that. Then because we don't want any double lines, I'll just set border color, set it to value. We have different values. For the calc value, we'll get a special day for that and how to use that one. Okay. And we also have separate over there. So we have to copy this and paste it inside our browser. Take it up from so this control. There we go. Oh, table is very small, right? Okay, so what are you seeing here? We see we have 5 English. Okay. So you see now we have the headings at the beginning of the table. Okay. Beginning of the table. I have to then along the what uh 100 what. So now refreshing still up paste that. Okay, so now this is what we are having. Okay, so you could see 5, 6, 7, and 8 are what headings, and they come here. And come here. We can choose to add more subjects over here so that we get more columns. So let's try and So English, let's try double. Let's self study. Uh, it's good. Hold on. Say we have coding. So that have maybe I here. Very, very important. I yeah. Um, our work is after question. Okay, so this is what we are having now. Oh, you're asking why is it like environmental studies is having the largest this? Okay, we'll get back to that part later on. Okay, so now this is what we are having. You see, we have a very nice table, okay, with the headings at one side at the beginning of the table or the first column, then the rest of the data comes in. Okay, the rest of the yeah. Okay, now we want a table that has both the horizontal what the horizontal heading as well as the vertical heading. Then automatically our our personal timetable development method, right? Okay, so I want to create another file. So I'll call this guy okay, there we go. Hold on, let us call this a oh, table. What is it? Okay, that's fine. Now we can move on, get our table inside of that. Inside of the first, I don't, okay, so the first thing is next is the next one, going to, and the next one gonna be Thursday, almost Friday, very quick. Then the next one is gonna be Friday, Friday. Okay, so this the first row, okay, the first row is taking headings. Then for each day we will have time, different timing, okay, different timing, different time. I would want to try to implement our next column or row going down. Down. So the first thing that we will have in this TR is D8 will be timing. Okay. So let's say we start from 6. Uh, yeah, start from exactly 6. o'clock a.m. That's fine. Alright, then you can have different subjects. Just CD, maybe anything. That's it. Gonna get and move on. Another CD. Gonna get okay. Then we move on. Oh no, we'll need five different data. One, one, four, five. So this is indeed workload, and we're gonna make it okay. Which other language? Portuguese. That's That's actually right. Okay, so that's our second row. Our second row. So the first one has to be what? Table, then seven. Okay, so what we are trying to mean here. Okay, well, we're here. Paris. Under here. So we had our time here. Let's in fact we finish this. I'm not doing anything again. Coding. Uh so far. I'll move on to another rule. Get it? Our first data has to then it's gonna take this. What I'm writing on. ah, I don't know what I'm writing. I'm going to be it's going to something just research work. gotten fossil. Hey, I think my too long. I'm tired though. Did then I will get another discussion. Gosh, one more. So we save our work, maybe refresh the data, just take. Okay, so call people off. Is what we are having. Yes. Oh, our work. So one day is taking the one. Okay. So this is supposed to be is Tuesday. Ah, yeah, mistake. All the same, let's get a border first. Let this going. Know how to correct. Stop. Uh, yeah. Don't choose to bring space. Want to? Okay, all right. So we had to do something here. This something because we is either. Hmm, okay, let's go back here. Then I'll take. What are we saying here? Instead of Monday to come here, it is rather on top of our timing, rather on top of our timing, and this is not something that we envision to have. Is that also? It's not something we envision to have. But first of all, this is the most important thing I want you to take note. You could start. We have horizontal headings: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we have vertical headings 6, 7, and 8. Okay. So these are what I wanted you to take note of. Now, that one being said, we will need to push Monday to come to its column, Tuesday, Wednesday, then we'll have it like that. Okay. So there are a couple of ways to get this. First of all, we can choose to set the first TH and make it empty. Okay. Our first TH element. I'll make that one empty. So that that one will automatically come and fit on top of the timing. You get it? Top of the time. Let me refresh this. See how we are seeing it. So you could see that this part is actually what? Empty. So Monday is here. Monday we have French, we have coding. I think I was even giving so Monday French, English, Chinese, Portuguese, Korea for Friday. Friday we are left with past. So we are left for 8, that one question. So back here, question. That's fine. Then say right, whether you like it or whether you like it or right. That's that. Let's refresh it. There we go. Now our table is full. Okay. So you will see we have Monday here, and Monday we have French at 6, coding at 7, written at 8. Okay. So this is a very nice time table for you. For okay, so that one being said, now it is very important. We cannot leave this thing just like this. Okay, cannot leave it. So we just have to take it off and get something better. So let's go up there where we had our first left out. Hmm. So now is the time that we're gonna learn something. Something. Let me take this. Then have something that we call the co-span. Oh, the code stands for column, then span. So we want to span the column. How many times? 2 times. So we want Monday to take 2 columns, or 2 columns, and that one is going to solve our problem for us, so that we wouldn't be having this guy over here, but the ones base. Okay, so you could see it gone and vanished. So we have Monday is directly on top of its then we have this. Okay, so that's that, and this is a very simple table. We'll have to style this table and make it look very nice. So that's it. So now this is our table. We'll have to style it better. Okay, so as I've been able to do this, you can choose to do anything at all to any of these tables as you wish. As you wish. So we have col span. The col, as I said, span. The COL is taken from column. Okay, so col span is column span. That expand means to enlarge it, make it have some different effect. Okay, okay, that's that. So we can choose maybe this guy to programming. Where will programming be 7, the third data, and postpan 7. Let's go down here. I hope you are getting the clear idea. It This is actually going to distort our table, but just show you, just do what I used. So you could see that programming has pushed apply here to Thursday automatically. So we have maybe unfortunately, I mean your apply here wasn't able to, and it has automatically pushed the also column that is over there. Okay, that's not okay. So we just take it off just to show you. Okay, that's good to go. That's great. And maybe I can have a column span as well, a row span, maybe two. Just want it. Let's see what happens. Happen. Gosh, you could see. So only span 2 rows. That's it. Yes, row. Okay. So that's it. So row span is for what? Spanning rows. Column span. Columns. That's fine. Them off. Save my. Okay, so that's fine. Now we come to a very special topic and a very special and important one. Because so now you know what column span is. You know what row span is. Okay, I forgot. I almost forgot the caption. Okay, so to get your caption, the caption has to come just after the table element. So after the table element, the caption. So there's the caption element. I always want caps lock. Okay, so I'll just say uh, intuitive. There's no intuitive. Yes, that's then maybe I can give it some I want. Follow the style attribute. Uh, Okay, so now let's see what happens. I have a caption, a very nice caption. So you see where our caption is coming. Intuitive table. Yes, about that. Okay, table. Intuitive table. So this is what we call the caption. Intuitive table for our caption. Table. 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 I want to set the height. Occupy page for me. Okay, so table now. Call on the height. First that. Then let me refresh. This is intuitive table. What are you trying to do? Okay, so that's that. That's that. That's that. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so I was saying something. We go on to a very special designing process, giving different colors for different for different. So we have something we call the zebra. Ida. Okay, table styling. We can add background color. We've done that already, and can we can do what again? Okay, so we have zebra stripes, which is that. Okay, so let's see some. Let's call on a very special selector. This special selector is going to do something beautiful for us. For us. Okay, so let's call on. Let's see the. I hope you are noticing this. These are very special selectors. Sure, you know them already. Hold on. Out. Hold on. Then let's come here. Wow. Did you say wow? Okay. 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 Now I want to show you some. You could see the first row, no color, no background color. When you come to the second row, you have a background. When you go to the third row, there is no background color. We come to the fourth row, there is a background. Let's show you why. See, we call on the TR element. The TR, don't forget, is what? Table row element. Table row element. That's great. Table row. Then we are saying that nth child, that's all table rows, all table rows. So the table row, any table row, we are calling on that. Then to be very specific, we say that even table rows, even table rows. So the first table row is an odd table row, and you don't need that. I hope you are getting it. The next table row or the second table row is an even table row. It is what? An even table row. And we are saying that that even table row will have a background color of what? This color, cover color. Okay. I hope you are getting it. The third table row is an odd table row, and we don't need that. So we call on that one, say that have the background of of nothing. But the fourth one is what? An even table row. You remember even numbers 2, 4, 6, 10, 12, and the list goes on. Okay, the list goes on. So that's how we're able to do that. So we just call on the odd ones as well and line them accordingly. So let's call on then and out, call on odd. So we are calling on all odd table rows. Getting it? We are giving it a different back altogether. Coral. So let's refresh the browser. So there's it. There's it. Okay. Okay. So these are what we call zebra stripes. This and that form horizontal zebra stripes, and this and that horizontal zebra stripes. So this is the coral color. This is the chart rose color. Our table head. Okay. So we've been able to design our table, been able to learn how to design what's your name? Jack. Okay, we'll be able to design tables, timetable, that's what I want to call on. Then there is this last thing that I want to show you. Maybe you might want to from different. Okay, so don't you forget these selectors can be set on TH and TD as well. Okay, TH. So that's now we can even set test align for test align. I use I so all our work at data center. Okay, push over there. So that's that. 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 Now we move on. The last thing we're gonna consider here is col group. Whenever you hear col, C-O-L, so that it is what column. Now maybe we want to design or want a special column have a very different styling from the rest of the table. In that case, we what we call the co-group. The co-group is able to select two or more columns, give it special styling. What are some of the styling that you can use the co-group? So the co-group, okay, let me really co-group element is used to specify columns of a table. Okay, so it's used to specify columns of a table. Let's say I want to take the first two columns, the next two columns, or whatever be it, then I will give it a special. Core group element should be used as a container for the column specification. Don't forget, it is what? It is just a container, a container. Each group are specified with a call element with the span attribute emphasizing the number of columns span to get Now, okay, so you wouldn't understand, but when we started, you understand it better. The style attributes specify the style to give the columns. Okay, okay, so take it. Now, you should know that the core group element should come just after the table element in cases where there are no captions. But if there are captions, then the core group element should just after the caption. Okay? So it comes before all other elements except the caption element after the table element. So because we have caption here, I'll just bring my core group element down here. Core group, like that. Then inside of that, I would have what? Code. So the code group has to be a child of the parent or a child of the table element parent. Then we call on the call. The call will be the one. It is an empty element. You have to note that. So we call on span. Span will emphasize how many uh, columns we want to span. So in this case, we want to span columns. Okay. In this case, we are not pushing anything. We are just trying to keep it very, very, very nice styling. Okay. Call on the style property. Okay. So that then we'll be able to give it any styling at all. Any styling at all. Are you sure it is any styling at all? Let's know. Okay, so that's that. Then we'll give it a style. Let's give it a, let's say it should have a style and column color. To see. Now refreshing, we expect our first two columns to be in a different color. Okay. Our first two columns to be color. Our first two. Having our so, open up. Okay. The other. Okay, so this was our second. Let's start with vector. Okay, so it comes just after that. Uh, call, the first two. Okay, so there we go. You could see that the first two columns only have gotten the background red. Okay, background. So that's the use of the code group. That's the use. The code group is for selecting a number of columns and then styling the columns accordingly. Styling the columns accordingly. Okay, thank you. So that's that. The code group is very, very important, and you should learn how to use this. You will need it most of the times. Okay, most of the times. Okay. Okay, so the code group must be a child of the table element and must come before any other element, but after the caption, element. Okay, okay, so that's fine. So the code group must come just after the table element. If there is caption, come after the caption, after the element. It is very, very important. Uh, you can use only these properties with the code group element. You can use the code group to set the width for those the visibility, the background color, and other properties. So these are the only element properties that you with the code group element. The background color that we have just done, we can choose to set the width also or something of that sort. Okay, okay, so that's that. You take key note of that. The rest of the element properties you cannot use with cannot use. Okay, so that one being said, I think this brings us to the end of our studies. This brings us to the end of our studies or lesson for this tables, tables, tables. I think that's that. Okay, okay, okay. I hope this lesson is very useful. I have forgotten just one thing. Um, I almost forgot this. I made mention of padding, right? Padding is very, very important. Padding, let me go back. Padding is just the space between the edges of the table or the cell, okay? The edges of a cell and its content. The edges of a cell and its content. So for instance, the environmental, you could see from here to here, the space here, from here to here, the space here. When we set padding on this, when we set padding on, we are going to have different thing altogether. So let's just go try setting, then we will end our lesson for today, okay? Padding Portuguese. I just need padding over. Follow on the style attribute here and set padding. Padding is almost the same as border. So we have padding top, padding down, padding right, padding left. Okay, so when I set 5, if I call on padding in general and set 5, it means all round. Padding top, padding right, padding bottom, padding left. They should all have 5 pixels as a spacing. Which one did I even set? I set it on science. Okay, so you could see science is now a bit away from this guy, a bit more away from here, more away down here, or down here. I want to set padding on, so then But so padding buttons off from bottom. Just set it 10, make it 15 starts. It becomes very visible. Right. Okay, so let me refresh. We are expecting some changes on social. Okay, so you see social, the down part is far away. So padding is just the spaces between the content and its cell, okay, and its cell. So that one doesn't affect the table in general. It does not affect the table in general, okay. It only affects the cell, cell. So looking at social and discussion, you see where discussion is, see where social from the downside. So that's that. So this will bring us to this lesson. I hope the lesson we've learned a lot. Sorry, I did this done and I was very feeling sleepy, but I needed to make this happen. So sorry for any inconveniences that this video might cause you, but I hope it's one of the best videos on tables that you will ever get anywhere. Okay, those consult is always the best. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as you enjoy and you code different tables. Thank you. Bye bye.